everyone. I'm Brenda Butner, and this is Bulls and Bears. Those sky-high oil prices finally crashing back to earth, the biggest weekly drop in crude on record. As for the Dow, from Wednesday to Friday, it had its best three-day gain in over 5 years. So is the oil bubble bursting and a new bull market beginning? Let's find out in the Trading Pit. Here are the guys with the answers. The Bulls and Bears this week: Gary B. Smith, Tobin Smith, Eric Bowling, along with Matt McCall, and Peter Schiff, author of the book Crash Proof. Pat Dorsey will be back next week. Welcome to everybody. Okay, Gary B., oil bubble. Did it burst?
You know what, Brenda? I think so. And here's the reason. You know, a lot of the people either bullish on oil, or I guess the Bears would say, oh, this is just a pullback and it's ready to resume its run. I counter with one significant fact. If we just look at USO, the ETF that tracks, you know, essentially crude and other energy stuff, it had its biggest down week ever, Brenda. You know, normally you see kind of price/volume action like that at tops or bottoms. And in fact, if you flip it around on the other side, you look at the financials like Citi, like Bank America, they had their biggest week volume-wise to the upside ever. So if we aren't seeing a change, certainly, you know, I think something significant is going on, and I'm bullish.
Well, it's hard for me to do the Toby shrug, but it's something like, you know, as you're talking. So go ahead.
Well, I look at, listen, I respect Gary a lot of these, you know, because he's looking at volume and everything else. I would look at the dollar. I mean, what was interesting is for oil to come down as much as it did and the dollar not to move very much. Everybody's been saying, oh, it's the dollar been driving, it's the dollar been driving. Well, guess what? It wasn't just the dollar driving it. I think, you know, Eric knows better than anybody. These guys who trade this stuff are technicians. I mean, they are technical traders, and we broke this 130, 131 line, and so that I would expect that we're going to get a pullback to the next sort of technical support. We have demand issues coming because China sort of built up, and now maybe after the Olympics we slow down. But the overall fundamental story has not broken. Whether traders go $10 one way or another, I would use it as a buying opportunity for the best energy companies, not a selling opportunity.
I don't know, Eric. You do know. You do know where it's going. Is it going up or down?
Well, I think it's going down. Let me give you a quick timeline. You know, President Bush came out and he lifted the presidential portion of the ban on offshore drilling. That was Monday. Tuesday, oil down $6.50. Wednesday, oil down $4. Thursday, oil down $5. We dropped $16 a barrel since he did that. Guys, guess what? As that was happening, the Dow rallied 400 points. So let's do it this way. See this? Oil up, economy down. Oil down, economy up. Things are good. The bubble is bursting. It hasn't burst yet. The air is coming out. I think we're going to see a $100 barrel.
From the beginning of Bulls and Bears, we've said stock market uppy is goody, downy is baddie, and you just got it right there. All right. Matt, what do you say? Are you bull or bear? What do you think? Is this bull market starting and oil going down?
You know, I don't think oil, the bubbles burst. And I'm going to go to what Eric just said here with the economy. The only way oil, this bubble bursts, is if the global economy slows down, in my mind. As long as the global economy is still running, there's going to be demand for oil. So I think it stays above the 120 level. So I think this is just a natural pullback. Granted, it happened in 1 week, which you don't like to see as a technician. But longer term, I still think we're in an uptrend in oil, and we move higher.
Peter, there is a lot to push oil higher. You think that's where it's going, or is this bubble burst? Well, or is it even a bubble?
There is no oil bubble. There's nothing to burst. This is a bull market. It's being driven by solid supply and demand fundamentals, but also by the most inflationary monetary policies the world has ever seen. You know, it's hardly a crash. We're still at $130 a barrel. You know, we've had many corrections. I've been buying oil since it was under $20 a barrel. And every time it drops, people are saying, that's it, it's the top. It's never been the top. There's nothing different about this decline. Maybe it's a little bit sharper, but I mean, I think that's what it's meant to do. It's going to scare out the weak longs. You know, buy this dip. And as far as the stock market, it's the opposite. This is a bear market rally in stocks. It's a selling opportunity.
Peter, you forget to mention that you've been selling the stock market since it was about 5,000 also. I mean, you can't have it both ways. Look, oil's got to get under 100.
Yes, I can, because I've been buying foreign stocks, and I've been buying gold, and I've been buying oil. I was selling in 2000 when you guys were buying with both hands.
All right, not a commercial, Peter Schiff, but here we go. Gary B., answer Peter what he says. Nah, this isn't any bubble, and it's not bursting.
Well, you know, just a couple points, and I'll get back to something Matt said also. If he's been buying foreign companies, you know, he's had to be really selective. Those markets have gotten hammered as much as our market has this year, and
even more.
across the board. In fact, even more. As to the point that Matt made, can the economy keep growing, oil price go down? Look at the inflation-adjusted top back in about 1980. Oil sold off for years. In fact, it just recently, in the past year or so, reached that, inflation-adjusted high. And yet all during that time, that 25 years or so, our GDP and others, countries, kept marching upwards. So I'm not sure there's a one-to-one relationship.
Well, Eric, if oil goes down, gas goes down too, right? And that's got to help the cash-strapped consumers, which has got to help the economy.
Please, Brenda, we got $16 lower in oil. That translates to almost 50 cents a gallon at the pump. If Congress pulls theirs, yes, it does, Peter. I'll do the math with you anytime you want. If Congress pulls theirs, we might get another $30 in oil. You're talking a $2.50 gallon at the pump. We need that.
Right, but you can't use the 1980s as the parallel for oil prices because there was 1.8 billion people that weren't participating in using oil. I mean, we do have a new global economy, 1.8 billion new people, 100 million new people in the middle class every year. That consumption, going from 1 gallon of oil a year, 1 barrel of oil, to 2 barrels changes the whole demand curve.
Yeah.
You also have to say that if this was, if the speculators were driving this thing, do we supposed to now clap for the speculators and it's come down? Come on, this is demand.
Very quickly, I'm going to go around and ask you, is the stock market going up next week? Eric?
Up and away.
Matt?
Up and away, I agree.
Toby?
I think it goes right up to 12,000 and stalls at the bear market rally.
Okay, Gary B?
I think we pause next week before continuing up.
Okay, and Peter, it's going down.
Well, I don't know. It might go up, but if it does, I'd sell it.
Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. That does it for the Trading Pitch this week. But coming up, Holy super stock picks, Batman, in the stock exchange. And our first stock crusader, Gary B. What name is going to lead our viewers out of this dark market?
Johnson & Johnson, Brenda. I think this is always kind of a no-brainer, and particularly now. This stock has been moving sideways for about 2 years. It just broke to a 2-year high. I think it's easily got another 20% left in it by the end of the year.
All right, Toby, what do you say?
What are you ripping off our friend Dorsey? He recommends this like every 6 months. It may go up a couple more bucks, but I'd rather buy a healthcare company that was growing fast and making much faster profits. I'm sorry.
Okay, Eric, what do you think of it?
That stock?
Yeah.
You know what? Look, he went casinos, he went financials, all that risky stuff. Now he goes to J&J. I can never predict you, Gary B, if I happen to like the stock.
You stay unpredictable. Toby, should I call you Boy Wonder or what?
Look at the darkest part of the market polling, just to stay with the topic, is been these monoline insurers that guarantee stuff. Well, Assured Guarantee is actually taking market share. They have great financials. The stuff that they insured has not gone upside down. They haven't done any of these subprime. So if you're looking for the darkest part of the market and these guarantee guys, Assured Guarantee is a company that will make you money.
The only thing guaranteed with this stock is you're taking on huge risk. It was up 30% this week. You're too late. Way too much risk in the stock.
Eric, are you a bull or bear?
Are you kidding me? I read the company profile. It reads like an 80s Ponzi scheme, Bermuda-based holding company, credit enhancement products and structured finance.
I'll explain it to you, Bowling, after the show, okay?
Okay, Matt, your stock.
I'm going my own superhero, American Superconductor. Two of my favorite themes right now. They're going at the nation's power grid, which is in a lot of trouble, and also looking at clean energy with wind. So I think this is a great long-term play, playing off what's going on now with high oil.
Gary B, you like it?
I do. It's pulled back, but it's pulled back right to the uptrend. I think it's going to go up from here.
And Peter, what about you? Do you like it?
At least it's not a financial. I think long term it looks all right, but it's a little extended. I try to buy a pullback in the stock, but if you got a long time horizon, it's probably not a bad bet.
You pay for it in Deutschmarks too.
All right, and Eric, your stock pick.
I'll give it real quick. DreamWorks Animation right now. They got Kung Fu Panda in the theaters, $202 million for the summer. By the way, here's this. Real quickly, up 20%. The stock market's down 11%. They're up 22%. Love this company. And by the way, I stuck with the theme. Get it? Animation.
Yeah, we got it. We're still thinking about that J&J, but okay. Toby, what do you think?
All right, Kung Fu Panda. Me hate stock. Come on, you kidding me? It's already had to run.
I'm sorry. Matt.
You're not getting Kung Fu out of me, but I agree with Eric 100%. Love the stock. Great in the summer.
All right. And finally, Peter, your stock.
Well, look, this is still a bear market. Don't be fooled. You got to be defensive. I still like the energy sector. Harvest Energy, it's one of the Canadian trusts. It's at the low end of its trading range right now. It's in oil and gas. It's also in refining. It's got an 18% yield. You can buy it here. There's not a lot of risk. You can ride out this bear market.
Gary B., what do you think?
It might be the only stock dealing with energy that is actually down for the year. I think it's going to go down a lot further than 18%.
That's why I'm recommending it.
Gary, you read my mind. Gas up 80%, crude up 70%. This thing's down 35%. Forget it.
They got refining risks. They have refining risks that's killing them.
Peter, I got to ask you, is there a bear market? Oh, okay.
Of course it's a bear market.
Okay, I got it.
And I have a lot of oil and gas stocks that are way up. I don't want to recommend those.
Yeah.
We want to buy the ones that are still down.
Thank you, guys. Predictions. Gary B.
Hey, Brenda, you know how I knew it was a bottom? When I saw a picture of Peter Schiff at his local IndyMac bank saying, "Give me my money back!" Nah, I'm just kidding, Peter. No, anyway, I think the whole bank scare...
Peter was a joke.
I think the whole bank thing is overblown. It started with IndyMac. I think it's probably going to end with IndyMac.
No.
And I'll tell you what, it's not too late to buy the financials. XLF, I think, has, even with the great week, has at least another 30% left.
Okay, so tell him it was your twin. It wasn't you.
You're really going to go down with that ship? This is just the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg. You wait till you see how many banks are going to fail.
Okay, and Peter, your prediction.
Well, look, my prediction, you got Paulson saying, there's going to be a federal bailout now of Freddie and Fannie. It's coming, as well as all these public works spending that's coming. It's all going to be financed with inflation. The 1970s was the warm-up. We're about to live through the main event. You got to go with the precious metals. Silver looks really good here. You can buy the ETF, SLV. It could be up another 25% by the end of the year.
You like
Hi-ho silver.
Gold is dead. Silver's dead. Maybe you'll come up with palladium next week.
It's up $80.
You can't run out of metals, I guess.
It's up $80 since you shorted it back in April. When are you going to cover?
50 cents.
All right, Matt.
You said to short it in April.
Matt,
I was on the show.
Your prediction.
I'm going to get away from that for a sec. Let's look at what's going to happen with this economy. If we come with another stimulus plan, we're going to put that money right into infrastructure. If that happens, I think Fluor Corp is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries. I think that can rally about 50% in the next 12 months.
Gary B., you like it?
I'm just looking at my notes. I would buy it on a close over $90. Sorry, caught me a little
Okay. Tobin, your prediction.
No notes allowed.
All right, well, there was this Mattel thing. I don't think Schiff can get, bad on Barbie. All right, and they won the deal against the Bratz. This really unlocks a lot of value. They're going to have to get a paid on every one of these Bratz that are sold. So I think Mattel comes out of it. They moved a little bit on Friday, but I think I have another 50% to go.
Toby and his dolls. Eric, what do you say?
Well, Barbie, Mattel's going up. Oh, Toby, you're so smart. No, I don't like. Here, Toby.
Hey, he doesn't like dolls. Give them back.
You want both of those dolls,
look
Toby?
at it.
He doesn't like my DreamWorks. I don't like his Barbie.
His head is even bigger than mine. I don't believe it. I don't
What is your prediction?
Clean energy. Mr. T-Boone Pickens, smartest man in the oil business, looking at natural gas. CLNE is a ticker. Great new stock in natural gas.
I don't know what to say.
Gas is going up. It's really going up. There's a lot of gas here right now, as a matter of fact. What do you think of Peter Schiff?
Where's the Bratz? Hey, Peter, do you like the Bratz or the Barbies?
Well, look, if you hold Mattel long enough, some foreign company will buy it out.